Hi guys, Dr. Mel. We're busy with chemistry and specific electrolysis, and we're going to have two sections on the applications. This is the first lessons, and it's going to be 2 or 3 applications, and then there's another lesson which you have to look in conjunction with this one and work through it to understand all the applications of electrolysis. So, guys, you need a pen. You need a piece of paper. You need to write down with me. You need to draw these cells. Otherwise, you are going to have difficulty understanding. In actual fact, you've got to actually draw it on a large piece of paper, and I'll show you just now how to study these applications. So firstly, just to give you a map on where we're going, we're busy with electrochemistry. We've done the definitions. Remember, oil rig. We said who will be the reducing and oxidizing agents. We've done the electrodes, electrolytes, and we've done electrolysis. The reactions we do with every lesson because it's half reactions. And then we started off with the chemical energy making electrical energy. We're now busy with electrical energy going to become chemical energy. So it's a difference it's a reverse of the other. And we will now see what the applications will be. So we will apply the principle where we start off with an anode and a cathode and we make a chemical separation, because that's actually what you do. You separate whatever substance you have with positive ions and negative ions moving towards the anode and the cathode. Now, the first one is a very popular application. It's electroplating. So where do we use electroplating? You see I've got a spoon there. So what we do here is we cover one metal with another metal. And this another metal can be something like gold, something like silver. So you take a spoon that is stainless steel, you put it in a mixture with real silver, and you actually find when you take that stainless steel spoon out that it's covered with real silver. And that's the way they electroplate cutlery and jewelry. And you can even find guys with their cars, their bumpers, and their bull bars shining, and it's silvery, and they actually did electroplating. So in many of the garages where you go for your car to be serviced, you can find some of the electroplating plants where they actually use this concept and the application. Right, so it's used actually to protect, because then it will not rust. And that's one of the reasons why we electroplate metal, so that it is not oxidizing with oxygen. Right, so what do we have here? We've got silver in the solution. Now, if I've got silver nitrate, like here, I've got silver plus and nitrate ions. Can you see here, I've got the positive pole and I've got the negative pole of the cell, and I know this will attract the negative and this will attract the positive. So what happens here is that we actually find that silver here, let me just finish that, silver here will become silver plus, it's the ion plus an electron. That silver there and the ones that's in the solution will now, because I'm disturbing the equilibrium, will now move towards the other side. And can you see that silver plus an electron will now become silver solid. And that plus there will latch onto this negative. Can you see there's the negative pole? It's the negative there, it's the positive there, and you see that you immediately will cover this with silver. Electroplating, using the same metal there as the one in the electrolyte to actually form a solid on whatever other metal you have. A second way of explaining it is, again, I've got the anode and I've got the cathode. I've got silver in the solid phase, which becomes silver ions, and the one electron. The spoon now attracts the positive ions because it's negative. You can see there forming the solid, and it now is a very nice electroplated metal. We still have a anode and oxidation and cathode and reduction, so you've got to be able to do the two half reactions. A second way of applying electrolysis is electrorefining. Now, what we're going to do here, and we've covered a little bit of this in a previous lesson, is we're going to purify metals. So what we have here is an impure copper. So I've got a piece of ore here, and it's impure. So there's lots of other metals and pieces of things that we don't want. We use this ore, they mine it, and you can actually take a piece of pure copper. Can you see there? It's pure copper, and I can take the copper off there and I can put it onto that one, and you know now exactly what the two half reactions will be. So I've got copper there. It will become copper 2 plus 2 electrons. The 2 plus will move towards the negative. So the 2 plus 2 electrons will become copper solid. This will be the impure, and this will be the pure copper. So firstly, electroplating. Secondly, electrorefining. What we can also find, and you might wonder, so what's happening with the other things? All the other impurities that was there will now precipitate and come and lie at the bottom here, which we call the sludge. And they will just remove that and throw it away because they can't use it. But in this instance, we wanted pure copper. We used electricity, and we could find pure copper from the ore that they mined. Right, so it's a purification reaction. Copper solid went into copper 2 plus. The copper 2 plus got the 2 electrons. Oxidation is loss. There you have it. A reduction is gain, and it became a pure copper. Electrolysis of sodium chloride. Now, what we're going to use now is a little bit of a different apparatus. You're going to use now an apparatus which is a little complicated in terms of how it looks like. So we've got a cell like that, which is quite different to the ones that you've done before. I'm drawing it so that you can see it's not that complicated, but you have to sort of know exactly what you're doing. So I'm going to put a substance in here. It's going to move from this side to that side, but not all of it, through a membrane. Now, if you've got life sciences, you'll know of selective durability. So you can see here, it can actually move through there, some of them. I will have here one of the electrodes and here another electrode. So it will separate, again, whatever I'm putting into this container. On the other hand, you'll actually find a product getting out. So let's see what they do. They take sodium chloride. Can you remember what sodium chloride? Salt. So I'm putting in salt solution. I actually have then sodium plus and chloride ions. The sodium plus will be drawn towards the negative. It will actually move through these little spaces towards this side. On the other side, you see chloride here. It will gather around this positive pole of the cell, and they will actually just form chlorine gas, and it will evaporate. And you actually contain it because this is a way of taking salt water and actually making chlorine gas. Right, so what's going to happen further? I've got the sodium that's moving towards this side. If I put water into this side, or I had water here, I'll actually get the water to separate into hydroxide and hydrogen. So the hydroxide, you can see here, will be pushed away from this negative. It will actually bind with this sodium, and you'll find sodium hydroxide. What will happen with the hydrogen? Can you see here? It's the negative pole there. The hydrogen is positive, so it will form hydrogen gas. So let us have a look. We started off with sodium chloride. We also threw in water. What did we make? We made chlorine gas, we made hydrogen gas, and sodium hydroxide. Okay, guys, this is one of the applications that you have to know. So what did we do? We took chlorine gas, it gathered at the positive side, and it made chlorine gas. It forms that. It's chloride in the ion, and it made chlorine gas. On the other side, we had the sodium, and the sodium ions will then form sodium metal. So it's important that you know that you can separate whatever, and you'll see there's another application as well, which makes it very clear. So sodium chloride actually became sodium and chlorine ions, and that then in turn became sodium solid and chlorine gas. How interesting is it to separate the salt water into sodium solid, which is a metal, and chlorine gas. Right, how do we apply electrolytic cells? We've got to know what's the process of electroplating, how can we purify metals and use it in the chlorine industry. In the next lesson, we're going to do the chlor-alkali cell. We're going to use the aluminium cell as well as the mercury cell. But that's in application 2. So now you've got to know you can have applications of electrolysis. It's an electrolytic cell, and you have to distinguish them from each other. I just want to quickly show you, if you are studying this section, and I'm just going to do it on this slide, I would take a piece of paper and then have the different applications written on there. Here, for instance, electroplating. And you can have your little diagram, then have your oxidation and your reduction half reactions. And then finally, your net reaction. Then you can take your refining of your copper, again your diagram, your oxidation, reduction, net reaction. And then we did sodium chloride, where we had another type of cell. If you remember, I did something like that. The oxidation, the reduction, and the net. And in the next lessons, we're going to do 3 others, so that you can actually identify what's the similarities and what's the differences. I hope you enjoy getting good marks for electrochemistry, because it's really a little bit of studying, but lots of practice. Bye.